So I'm Micheline Sheehy Skeffington. I'm president of the BSPI, and it's a huge honour to be so, especially with this atlas coming out. I'm a plant ecologist, and I lectured for many decades in the University of Galway. And I'm also a Vice County Recorder for South East Galway, which is a great honour and actually great fun, as well as having been a lot of work in the last while, as Chris has mentioned. So really all I'm going to do now is summarise what's been said and to try and point again towards where we might go forwards. So as Kevin has said, there's a lot of things on the atlas, and I'm still learning as to what we can find out. And clicking on species, you've got the trends, you've got the change maps, which show where things are increasing or not, and the phenology in that. So this was the bee orchid, but most of the orchids, you're probably aware, actually have a different kind of a trend. And here is the heath-spotted orchid, which the overall trend is going downwards. So these are the kinds of things that we found out, but what do we need to do with them and where are we going with them? Well, we need to continue monitoring, and this is being discussed as to what are the key species? Are they not necessarily on a red list, but where are they going? And on a spatial distribution as well, so that we can see where exactly are certain species declining. Maybe they're okay in some places, but not in others. So compiling the red list and the heat maps is part of that, but we need to do that to focus on the species. It's only kind of the beginning work, if you like, if we do that, because really what we need to do is to work with the partners, and that's the policymakers, it's the governing bodies. In Ireland, it's the National Parks and Wildlife Service, it's the Northern Ireland Environment Agency, and various other NGOs and partners in both in Britain and Ireland, because they're the ones who really have the power to implement this. We can feed them the information, but we have to work with them to inform where is the best way to go next. So in the UK, the National Plant Monitoring Scheme is underway. I saw the link was put up there. And in Ireland, we've also had the Rare Plant Monitoring Scheme, which has been underway for a couple of years now. And we'll probably renew this and perhaps revise it in the light of the fresh information, because we intend to resurvey all the populations that we hadn't refound, but maybe we also should look at a few that we have but are extremely shrunk in their distributions. So that's a really important thing where, again, we all county recorders can be involved in. But both of these are actually great opportunities for people of all abilities to be involved. And I think that was mentioned in the talks, that you need the experts, the county recorders, the referees, the professionalism that's behind this. Even though we're not paid for this, we've done this on a voluntary basis and very much enjoy it. But it's for anybody of any ability, because if you go out on a field excursion, there'll be people there who'll be able to instruct and identify things maybe that you don't know. And indeed, sometimes people who don't know a bit less challenge the experts and they have to revise. Why did you say that was that? So it's a great way to share an enthusiasm for botany. And I think that's really important, that all of us in these countries get a wider understanding of what's happening and what are the British and Irish flora. We were just discussing how, in fact, some of the media still see it as kind of garden plants and how our garden plants are going. We've got to get the message out that the wild flora is far more in danger and needs protection. So in Ireland, we've been very lucky to get funding from National Parks and Wildlife Service, and there's been a 2-year aquatic plant project, and it's going to go on for another 2 years. And already about 100 people have participated, and the aquatic plants is a really important topic, if you like, because you don't see them. You see a lake, there's no change unless you can go and fish out what's growing underneath, and then you have to learn how to identify the different pond weeds and all the different things. And it's only that way that you begin to realize, well, is this quality of this wetland, this lake or pond, increasing or decreasing? Have species disappeared or not? So it's important to pass on the expertise and that people are aware of these different species, and then the monitoring can carry on. So we'll be doing that across Ireland again for another 2 years, and hope to aim at grasslands for another habitat, because again, grasslands, you don't always spot a decrease in species richness unless you go down and you learn to identify everything there. And then just finally, there's a few county recorders here, because I think it's very important that as botanists, if we're trained up or otherwise, that we know something about plants, that we engage with members of the public, because it's only by showing them where the plants grow, why they grow where they grow, and how we could maybe do something to conserve them, and to spread the word much wider and get people to join the BSBI, that we're going to be able to take the results of this fabulous atlas forward in order to be able to conserve them and stop the alarming trend which is declining in both islands. So just to finish, as the timetable here, the launches are going on right across these islands. There's 2 tomorrow, 1 in Dublin, 1 in Edinburgh. There's 1 in Wales on Friday. And then on the 15th of March, there's 1 in Belfast. And then on the 18th, winding up in England, there are 2 launches, 1 in Cambridge, which is also online, and 1 in Newcastle. So that's a great collection of launches, and I think there's even some cake going at some of them. And if you're anywhere local, you might wish to turn up. It's a great excitement for this to happen over the current week or more. And so I'll end again with the details. You can find it online. You can buy the book. Why not? It's really important that we all have copies of this, or it's spread around the country. And then there's the online link and Kevin's email address for further information. Thanks very much.